Hey YouTube, I wanted to talk about something that I am tired of hearing on YouTube over and over from atheists. The inspiration for this was from watching Thunderfoot's playlist entitled, Why Do People Laugh at Creationists? I really enjoyed the entire chain of videos. I stood glued to the screen constantly and the whole experience was very entertaining. I strongly support the whole notion of debunking creationism and showing how retarded you'd have to be to believe in it. The science was fun and I learned a lot of things from watching your stuff, so thanks a million, Thunderfoot. However, near the end of your last video on your playlist, you started mentioning things about mortality and how death should be accepted and treated as something entirely natural and essential to existence. Then you began to say how death should also be welcomed because you felt that eternal life would be like walking down a straight black line amongst eternal white blankness, entitled the ultimate human torture. With all due respect, that is more stupid than anything you could expect to hear from a creationist, and I found it extremely rotten of you to promote that opinion of yours by surrounding it and trying to blend it in with scientific fact. If you feel like your life is a straight line or some kind of crawl through a desert, like you described it, whatever. That might explain why you feel that way. Let me mimic a method you used in your 9th video with the shot glass example. From what it sounds like, you seem to compare life to a vacation, and that it would be selfish to spend your entire lifetime at a resort, and that you would eventually go insane from the boredom of having nothing to accomplish.
Now, the reason this argument is bogus, of course, is simply because the two objects being compared have different critical properties.
Your logic in believing that it's greedy to try and reach for eternal life is parallel to believing that in a settlement of starving villagers, it'd be greedy for one of them to farm and harvest so they can have a reasonable supply of food. When you die, I'll bet you assume that there's no career, hobby, or project to get back to where you can resume your productivity for society. Life isn't entitled to be your luxury, but it is essential for existence. It is essential for the universe to be something more than just a pool of information describing cause and effect, and ultimately it is what you make of it. Death has so far always been the ultimate omnipresent enemy to all known life. You should fear and hate death at least as much as tyrannism, slavery, or any other form of corrupt power that takes the freedoms away from innocence, for death is the ultimate stripping away and theft of freedom, so much that it makes our own thoughts and feelings as individuals rendered non-existent. Not even the evils from God's Dark Age extremists had that power or corruption. Nor if something is natural does that automatically make it even anything close to ideal. We as a species merely just submissively choose to accept death and brand a fool anyone who considers fighting it. If you want to accept death and not even put some struggle, fine, but don't even come close to suggesting that welcoming death is something that everyone should do. Life is about freedom, having no limit above your head to dream and reach for the stars, not settling for anything but the best for you and your family that this universe can offer. Death only demeans life by taking away our potential as an individual to live and experience the universe. Claiming that death is a motivator for urgency to act is a pathetic defense as well. To draw a parallel, you should not immediately respect and kiss ass to a Christian God out of fear of eternal hellfire, even if there was such a thing. The motivation to act from a fear of the consequences by not acting is a depressing way to go through life. I don't know if there's a way to defeat death or if any significant battle against it will ever come in my lifetime. However, death is not my cup of tea. Fuck death. I'm out.